Oh, what is up, everybody? This is Pride Rules, episode 83. Omar, 83.
It's crazy. No, it's 80. No, it's 84.
No, it's 83. I'm looking at my book, homie.
It's 84, bro.
I think you're right.
84. Yeah, bro. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. I went off of the last
84.
week. Yeah,
Holy
maybe.
Christ.
It was a good year. I was born 84.
You know what? I'm very mixed up. It's bad enough Friday night I drove to Atlantic City and didn't have to be there until this Friday night.
No shit, no.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It was, but we'll talk about that later. Shout outs to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Warning Sports 360, and Roberto and the family over at Fightbook MMA. If you guys want to call in and talk to us tonight, the phone number is 917-889-2676. That is 917-889-2676. I am the good Reverend Tommy D, joined with me by the Latin sensation that is taking Pride Rules across the nation, El Professor Omar Sangarima. What's the happy haps?
Not too much, my man. I'm fresh out of Boston. And surprisingly, hey, I'm with it on the sports teams. I got to say that the city itself grew on me for a little while. I mean, I know it's wild, but when I lived there, I didn't appreciate it. I went to visit. Holy crap! Is it a nice, clean city? And at least on Sunday, it was nice for some museum watching. So. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, it's probably better than what you're used to.
Oh no! It has plumbing. Oh, you son of a bitch! It's funny you should say that. I saw the running water and I went to go take a dump in it, like we do here. And Kristen was like, "No, they have indoor toilets." I'm like, "Oh wow!" So yeah, that was a wild time. But yeah, it was crazy. It was wild.
Did you have to pay extra for that?
It's funny that you should say that. They had it like a 25-cent thing, but it was with a hole in the wall. I don't know if that was extra from the public lavatory or for separate. I never got quite to that point because I just peed and then.
Well, it is Boston. I'm sure that hole in the wall had nothing to do with a toilet.
Yeah, absolutely. You're probably right. But I did the Lyme test and I don't have the clap, so I'm good. Everybody's fine.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Well, everybody, on a more serious note, we have a very, very special episode tonight. Normally when we bring guests on here, it's we got fighters on. Tonight we have someone who is very, very deep in the MMA game and boxing. She is Rachel Blaze, who is part of Cage Side Submissions. She's another Fightbook family member who is going through a very, very tough battle right now. I'm not going to go into it right now because I cannot do it the justice that it deserves. When Rachel calls in tonight, we will get into it. But I hope we have a lot of females listening because this generally is directed towards all of you. So, buddy, we had a pretty good event this weekend, and not the one that I thought I was supposed to be at. UFC in Utica, a place that you said is worse than where you are. What did what did you think of our boy Shorty getting that first win by? I mean, yeah, it was a TKO, but what would you have really called that?
Good juju. Good karma.
About time.
Yeah. You know what? He had it coming. Bless him. I don't care how he got in, but he got it in. He got the win. You told me some wild things about his weight cut, which I want you to touch on. But holy shit. I'm glad he got the W, and I'm even more excited that this means we get to see more of Shorty on the proper stage, befitting of his immense ability, and even more importantly than that, we get to see it with a full fight camp, which means he is going to eat someone's asshole like Kobayashi. next time out. It's not going to be like by mistake or whatever. He's going to kill somebody.
If anybody who's actually watched all of his fights in Titan, that's just how he is. He just stands there. He'll take whatever you got, and he'll just keep pushing forward, and that's how he always seems to win. But what you were talking about with the weight cut, the man was training to jump up to fight for the 145-pound Titan FC title. He was going to be the first 3-title holder, I'm pretty sure, in MMA. I don't think anybody's ever done that before, right?
No, I don't. I think you're right.
But
it's crazy.
UFC
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
UFC came calling, and Lou Giordano, got him to lose all that weight in 9 days, and he did it healthy. So for all the people out there saying that certain fighters can't do it because it won't be healthy, you need the right nutritionist. And that's that. What do you think?
I'm just blown away at how somebody, quote unquote, outside of the UFC can show themselves to be such a consummate professional that some people inside the UFC can't seem to get their shit together and be one like that. I mean, it's just getting crazy. We just had this where somebody, Darren Till came in overweight and, got some home cooking on top of that. I know he had some issues, so it's not as though we can put all the blame on, a lack of proper weight cutting protocols. I think he had the issues with his pregnant wife or pregnant girlfriend or fiance or wife or partner. But there's been a bunch of people that have come in overweight. And I think you're the one who turned me on to the stat that overweight fighters in the UFC are undefeated this year. Right? The people
I think so.
I think they are.
I think they are.
So. That's absurd. That's a statistic that is just it bothers me on a deep, deep level. And it's just crazy that somebody from outside the UFC came in and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm training for a fight that's what 145 would have been what? What did they fight at this week? I think it was 125, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's 2 weight classes above." And he goes, "Fuck it," on short notice, no less. So many people in his position would have not even have tried to take the fight, say, first off, right? Then there's a couple of those shitheels that would have taken the fight and been like, you know what, I'm going to try to get as low as I can. And then he was such a professional about it, Tommy, that he didn't leave it in anybody's hands because we're talking about still Utica. It's still New York. We know what happened with the Blessed One, right? In terms of, it's too wild of a weight cut. He somehow managed to slip in as a pro and come in under the radar and not alert any crazy eyes. He just went in, got what he needed to get done. Lou Giordano is a fucking magician. And Shorty Torres is a fucking professional.
Yeah, I mean, and the fight as a whole, it was an exciting fight. The Monkey God hitting that spinning back fist that dropped Shorty. What was that in the first round?
Yeah, it was early. And my asshole.
But the problem with that was he kept going back to that well too many times, to where Shorty was just timing it. That was the issue. He kept going back to that well. You can't do that. And I know, oh God, the poor man's Joe Rogan with Jimmy Smith. I never get to say the guy's name. No,
you got no love
I never
for him,
get
though.
to say his name. I do, though. Okay. I think he's a great announcer for the UFC.
If you say so.
He kept saying it. Like, every time he was throwing it, he's going to that way too many times. He's going to that well too much. And then Shorty started timing it. And then, it's always nice to go for those big slams, like, Frankie Edgar with Gray Maynard. But you got to make sure you have control of it. Because, like I was telling you, I always wondered what would happen if the fighter started slithering down the opponent's back as he was going for that slam. And I guess we saw what could happen.
I mean, first off, though, let me ask you, humbly and as a friend, never use the word slither again. It was very off-putting. I felt weird in the pants area when you said it. I don't know why, Tommy. It was just something. It was just your delivery. Made it sound
you went to a glory hole. You went to a glory hole in Boston and thought it was a bathroom. That's why.
I mean, maybe something happened. I also tried to feed some carrots to the trolley out in Boston, and the people yelled at me. I don't know why. I was just trying to, get it some more energy.
Because you can't stick a carrot in a radiator of a car, Omar. Not everybody drives a horse to work. Nah, man. These are one of those. MMA is such an amazing sport, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get tired of seeing all the ups and downs, because like weird shit like this happens all the time. It's two thinking people, highly trained athletes that are it's a game of one-upsmanship, right? You do this, I'll do this, you do this, I'll do this, until you win, right? And eventually you're going to come to some wild stuff like what we saw, You always said, you did, I'll give you your props, deservedly so. You did always say that, hey, listen, you know what, it would be a weird thing if this happened. And I'm like, yeah, it would, but the two of us, I think, maybe I did. I was like, but it's one of the things that you think you'll never see. But then this year has been full of them. Like we've seen a fucking Ezekiel choke twice from the bottom position, different positions. Like it's just it's crazy. Whoever said there's nothing new under the sun obviously didn't have MMA as their go-to sport. Like Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm excited to see who they give him next. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it's like, do they give him a ranked opponent? I think so. You could give him somebody who's ranked 10th. If you don't want to just skyrocket him right away, you can give him somebody ranked 10th. They could definitely do it. Yep. They can. And
fast or slow, he'll kill whoever it is. And Shorty's in here for the long haul. So whether he's a champion this year. I'm not saying he couldn't be, but whether he is a champion this year or whether he's a champion next year or whether he's a champion after that, he's going to be here for a long time. So, whatever you want to do with him, he's going to give you exciting fights. And, hey, if he can come in on weight after all that craziness, he's one of those guys that you're never going to have to worry about coming in on weight, down the stretch. How many, in big high-pressure fights, like, that's a commodity to be that way now.
Lou Giordano got Johnny Hendricks to come in on weight back in the day.
That is a magic trick. You're right. You're absolutely right. And for the audience listening at home that don't know who that is, first of all, stop listening, because we don't want you as a fan. No, but Johnny Hendricks is perpetually overweight. Johnny Fatso Hendricks. Dude just stopped caring about doing what he was doing, and it's funny. What's crazy to me? It's like the way it seems as though is that remember Dolce used to get all the hype for a long time, and then there was like, but then like some of the bloom came off the rose, so to speak, and there was a couple fighters that are like, I don't know, Dolce cost too much, but Dolce is kind of a dick, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? I'm not siding on any one of those things. I have yet to hear somebody come out and be like, yo, Giordano didn't get what I needed to get done. I've not heard about that, and he keeps working with more and more fighters.
The man who brought him on the scene, Eddie Truck Gordon.
Smart man. I mean, and those are two individuals that, like, I know whatever you want to think of the or Ultimate Fighting or MMA, Lou Giordano and Eddie Chuck Gordon are both like just smart people. Like they approach it professionally. They approach it, very, very scientifically. Both of them, like one, the art of fighting and the art of, all the entrepreneurship that crazy bastard is doing in terms of truck. And then Giordano, just all you have to see is the results, man. I mean, I saw that the side-by-side, the triplet side-by-side, where it's like, here's what for sure, where he was like, 150, like with 8 days to go or 9 days to go, weigh in, and then fight day. And it's just like, it's like if you could spin it up in a lab of how you would want it to go. it's just incredible, man, what he does with the human body. And like, and anybody that knows about weight cutting knows that it's not an exact science for everybody. One size does not fit all. So the fact that Lou can work with so many different people and still get it right on the nose tells me that it's not so much that he's just lucky. It doesn't tell me that he's, just trendy right now or does things that like, will potentially harm fighters in the long run. Like he'll get them on weight, but down the road, he's going to kill them. He's just a scientific guy and he has a process that works. That's what that tells me. And I think that's more indicative of a much longer and fruitful future for him as, as a businessman and as a weight coach. And anybody that wants to really, get their shit together, I think needs to give him a call.
Damn right they do. So let's, I can't wait to see who they give Torres next, though, for real. But we got some more notable wins from that event to talk about. Bilal Muhammad kept his streak going. He put on an impressive fight. He's definitely a name that's on the rise right now. Sijara Eubanks comes in there and puts on a very, very impressive performance. I seriously think she should have been the one to win the show, but she had that injury. That kind of sucks, but she's a bad motherfucker though. Holy shit. And she's training right out of Ricardo's.
Smart.
But the best go with the best, man.
It's no joke, and I mean, Jesus Christ, her grappling's already legit.
Yeah.
And
her stand-up is amazing. The combos that she was putting together against Lauren Murphy were unbelievable. I mean, Murphy, she's a tough chick, but Eubanks' star is rising steadily. So I'm very interested to see what she does next. Smiling Sam Alvey and Gian had a pretty good fight. Alvey came out with the split decision, called out Corey Anderson, and Corey took to Twitter and was saying at the everybody's been calling him and texting him since the call out. But while that call out was happening, Corey got a phone call for his uncle passed away. So heartfelt condolences go out to Corey Anderson and his family. I know he's back at home. That would be a good fight to see, and I hope the UFC makes that in the future. Ben Saunders puts Jay Ellenberger out. Did you think Killer B was going to knock him out? I thought he was going to submit him.
I with the styles, I was right there with you. I thought that Jake was gonna get in, put him on his back, and then we were gonna see some of the most underrated off your back jiu-jitsu in the form of Ben Saunders doing his thing. But holy shit, man, Ben's got those knees. He's got the perfect frame for it. It's just that everybody does their best to avoid it and then puts him on his back, and I think that's why he kept developing his jiu-jitsu off of his back as a result of that. He's not a dumb guy, and neither are his coaches. But it was cool to see because that was some vintage Killer B. He's exciting. He's an exciting fighter. Yeah. He tries to be an exciting fighter any position, and I'll always appreciate that. So that's an interesting guy to see who the hell they give next as well. Like because kind of like what the hell do you do?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's never in a boring fight. He was one of my favorite cast members on The Ultimate Fighter when he was on Team Sarah. You'll see him on the is it the Rise? No, is it Rise Invitational? No, EBI. It's either Rise Invitational or EBI. He does the commentating on every once in a while. And
he's a smart guy too. He's very erudite. He's very
Yeah, but his jiu-jitsu knowledge is outstanding. It's absolutely outstanding. But let's talk about something else that's outstanding. Another Ricardo Almeida fighter, Marlon Moraes.
Jesus.
Puts that 20-win streak that Jamie Rivera had to bed in 33 seconds. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you turn down fights left and right and you want to be a sportsman rather than being a fighter. You get that ticket punched, and you get it punched quick. What are your thoughts, my brother?
I mean, I know you relished that victory, and it seems like so much more than I ever could because we talked about it before. We talked about it. I mean, but holy smokes, how crazy was that kick? And you said
Oh, it
it
was
best.
insane.
Put to bed. Put to bed. You're cute, Tommy. That was I see what you're doing there, buddy. Like that, you know. I just, oof.
You know what it is?
What do
It's
you
just Jimmy, like, it pissed me off when they were looking for a replacement for the Dominic Cruz fight when they wanted Marlon to come on there. And, you know, I don't fully believe everything that Jimmy was saying, you know, about he was going to give him this, he was going to give him this. Because I don't see Marlon, you know, fully turning down a fight. But you had Aljamain out there who has been calling him out forever. That was a fight that you could have done, considering that Aljamain just fought Marlon. So that was a fight that could have been done. But he wanted to pick and choose who he wanted to fight. And what did we say about Yair Rodriguez? You can't always pick and choose.
Who?
Well, apparently he got re-signed, so
I know.
that's the word. But I'm just saying, you can't always pick and choose. I'm sorry, you can't, because does he still have the same shine that he had before? A 20-fight win streak, and you get knocked out in 33 seconds?
You know what? All I gotta say about this sort of crazy situation is this: when you play the UFC video game, right? You get to choose maybe between two people that they put in front of you. No, is it still the same thing? And when you get to be like a champ, you get like maybe two or three people, or when you're on your way up.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. All right. The fucking video game has it the right way. All right. Sometimes you get to choose. Sometimes you don't. But even when you do get to choose, if I remember correctly, it's from a very small pool of folks that you get to choose to say, hey, listen. And if a goddamn video game is more true to life about what the fight game really should be, then, you know, a lot of these fighters that are trying to, you know, they're trying to play chess, and they're trying to be Nostradamus, and they're trying to, you know, downplay the, you know, kill the downside and boost the upside. Listen, you're not investment bankers, all right? You're fucking fighters, okay? I love you to death, and I'm all for the labor, and I'm all for fighters' rights, and I'm all for getting them paid, so I wish everybody got paid more. But you know what? At the end of the day, stop with this pick and choose bullshit. I get it. You want to make money, and you want to have a good career, but you know what the biggest way to do that is at the end of the day is win and be exciting.
Yeah.
Regardless of who they put in front of you.
Now, Aljamain and Rivera actually make sense now. They both lost to Marlon. They're both pretty high ranked. Marlon should have no other fight other than a title now.
Oh Christ, no. If they offer him another fight, that is one of the few times I'll be like, yeah, he should be like, no. You know, Josh,
his star has risen enough now.
Hell
Two
yeah.
exciting knockouts in a row. Was the Aljamain fight under a minute too?
Yeah, it's. I think the stat was that the last two fights he's dispatched both opponents in about 100 seconds.
So, it's a no-brainer.
That's crazy.
It's a no-brainer. His next fight should be for the title, and now you do Aljamain and Jimmy Rivera because, like I said, it makes sense. It makes sense.
I'm sure it's not how he wanted it to go. I'm sure that's not
No.
how he wanted it to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Of course not. But the fight has to happen.
Yeah.
It's had to happen for a very long time. From, you know, before the UFC. It's had to happen. You know, I think it would do pretty good. I mean, do you put it on a pay-per-view? Maybe. You know, I wouldn't, unless you're going to make it a main event for a fight night. I'd kind of like to see it on the pay-per-view so those guys can get paid. What do you think?
I want to see it. So whatever gets it done quickest. I know our boy is going to be on a medical suspension probably, right? Don't they get put on automatic medical suspensions for?
Yeah, but there's ways around it. Look at Frankie.
I mean, there's ways around it if you fight in Russia. I mean, or on a. Ask Evander Holyfield how to get around athletic commission shenanigans.
Frankie fought right in Jersey after that.
Yeah, but I think, Frankie's the mayor of Jersey, so I don't think there's any commissioner or nobody's gonna say no to Frankie Edgar. All right, he runs shit in Jersey. So, to that end, I feel as though we'd have to see how his noggin is doing. But yeah, whatever gets it done fastest. And I'm sure Jimmy. If Jimmy, we're busting his balls about being a sportsman. I get that, but if Jimmy's half the fighter that I think we know he is, he's gonna want this one back quick. He will.
Oh, he's a tremendous fighter, but I don't think he should. I don't think he should get Marlon again. Not 33 seconds. That train's passed. You need to win before I think you can fight that guy again. Because, like I said, he deserves the title shot. There's nobody else in that division right now that's craving for a title shot more than him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We got somebody with us. We got somebody with us, though.
We do.
Holy smokes. Mr. Kareem. What's going on, bro?
Oh. Kareem the Dream. Got to announce myself since Tommy's dropping the ball.
Damn.
Yeah, well. All right, Karina, take it easy.
Wow. That was more me dropping the ball. I dropped you on his lap quick. It was more me.
Let's leave it on Tommy. I'm happy leaving the blame on Tommy.
I got you.
It works. Everybody else does.
Oh. Oh my God.
So while Omar is giving our guest Rachel a call, Kareem, I want to talk to you about what you think about Marlon's future. Does he deserve this title shot right away?
No. I don't think.
What?
No, listen. I don't think.
Hello?
Rachel?
Hi.
Oh geez. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the great Rachel Blaze on the line. It's a stupid question to ask how you're doing, but how you doing?
I don't think it's a stupid question at all, but today is a rough day. I have good days and I have bad days.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Well, I'm sure you listened. There's no way I can explain what is going on. I couldn't do it any justice. So right now, just explain to everybody, because I've never heard of this before. Probably because I'm a dude. I don't really have to think about that stuff too much.
Unless you plan on getting butt implants or chest implants or cheek implants. That's what guys are doing now.
Yeah, I thought about the calf implants. But
calf implants. Hey, see?
Yeah.
Boom. There you go.
Well, after this story, you probably don't want to put anything artificial in your body unless it's medically necessary to save your life.
Gotcha.
Yes. Please tell us everything that's going on.
Honestly, I was in the same boat you were. I never heard of it before because obviously I have 10-year-old Allergan saline implants. I went with smooth, which is good because texture is pretty bad. Far worse than having saline. But actually, the FDA just released a statement stating that all breast implants, silicone and saline, cause a very rare breast cancer. And the only way to test for it is to have your implants removed, swabbed, and sent to pathology. So it's kind of scary for me right now with all the symptoms that I have, which is an uberant amount of the symptoms. It's incredible because most of the medical field, I have 25 specialists. And out of those 25 specialists, I have one doctor who says, yeah, it's time to remove the breast implants. It's a problem. So it's interesting because it's not out there enough. We've heard in the past that obviously breast implants were taken off the market, and then they did the studies, which we are finding out now that they weren't complete, and the breast implant companies weren't fully releasing the stories on actually what really happens with breast implants. So it's just so much information that I learned over a period of time. So learning that I was sick all these years. Granted, I had some compound environmental issues in my apartment that caused some horrific, very bad times at that moment. I was pretty much on my deathbed. And my partner, Steve Rachel, at the time, he knew how sick I was because I was doing a radio podcast with him, and I was sick all the time, so I couldn't guarantee that I was going to be on the show. So the underlying issue is my breast implants are causing it's called a chronic inflammatory response, which basically your body is under attack, and your body does not know what to do. So there's an uber amount of symptoms that correlate with it, along with an autoimmune diseases, vitamin deficiencies, migraines, hair loss, thyroid, adrenals. It affects your kidneys, your liver, because obviously what's happening is that the breast implants inside a woman's body over a period of time disintegrate. They melt. And I'm not sure how aware you guys are, or if you had did any research before the show. I probably should have sent you guys some links, but there is a very good group on Facebook. It's Healing Breast Implants by Nicole. And if it was not for that group, I would have never been able to put two and two together to figure out why I was so sick. At first, I was in denial. I was like, I've been on these for 10 years. What are you talking about? My boobs are fine. You know? And so after doing all the research and reading all the other women's stories, I was like, oh, my God, that's me. I have all of those symptoms. And when I got diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia, I'm like, wait a minute. Nobody in my family has it. So how is it I'm getting sick? So it was a long time trying to figure it out and piece it together over a timeline over the last 10 years and think about any of the symptoms or any of the things that could possibly be linked to it. Like when I first got them in, I had really bad dry skin, peeling. My face was peeling and, very sensitive. Couldn't explain why. I was getting facials all the time and so thought maybe I was doing too many facials. That was not the case. I'm finding from other women that is like the first system of a reaction. So it's interesting. I don't want to steal the show away. If you want to ask me any questions, I can answer them. The whole reason for this podcast is because I'm starting a campaign, and I'm working with some pretty top people who are helping me put it together. I've teamed up with a T-shirt company that I don't want to disclose the name at the particular moment until it's officially released to spread awareness about breast implant illness.
I can tell you this right now. If the three of us that are on the show right now, the three of us hosts, were in the same room, all of our mouths are wide open just hearing all of these symptoms that you said that you have just from something that women get constantly now. My question is, so you said you have saline, right?
Yes.
I thought saline is safe for the body.
Exactly. So let me start from the beginning. A lot of people are like, well, why would you put those foreign things in your body? Well, let me tell you. I had a child.
I like the voice
and
you did, Rich. I wanted to take a second. Like, I like the voice you just did because you made the voice sound like douchebag haters. Like, why would you do that? Yeah, because that's the question. That's what you want to hear when you're suffering through something, right? It's like, well, why would you do it in the first place? Listen, jackass. That's not helping nobody. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. You would be surprised how many comments I get, but I have good comments. But yeah, I mean, people are like, well, why the hell would you put them in your body? Well, let me tell you why. I wanted to become a model. I wanted to do modeling. I wanted to, get into different things. Well, I presented myself to a couple modeling agencies, and they very bluntly had said, well, your breasts are not proportional with the rest of your body because I have curves. And so they were like, well, you need to do something about that, otherwise you're not going to make it. You're not going to find anything. It'll be really hard to find jobs. So I interviewed 15 different surgeons, finally found the one that I really liked. And he assured me and said that I was picking the safest option, that there's no problems. It's possible that they could rupture. So I was like, oh, okay, that's not a big deal because that could be taken care of, no minor, saline, it's natural, it's what goes in the body, et cetera, et cetera. So what they did tell me is that when you think about it, when you go to the hospital and you get an IV, you get a bag. Well, on the bag, it gives you an expiration date. Why? If it's so natural, why do they put an expiration date on an IV bag?
It goes bad. Something's got to go bad. Oh, no. Oh, shit.
Exactly. So what's happening now, women are developing cancer. I've had swollen lymph nodes underneath my armpits. I've had lumps in my breasts. I've had extreme pain in my breasts. Don't touch me. Don't lick at me. Modeling gigs I've had to cancel. Like, no, we're not squeezing the boobies in a corset. That is not going to work today. Yeah. So what happens, what they're finding out when they go into women's bodies to explant, which is removal, it's a complete, it's not as easy as putting them in. It's a little bit more complex. Now you got to go into the muscle. Now you got to cut the muscle. You got to get into the breast tissue. You have to do a capsulectomy, which is basically the capsule that grows, the scar tissue that grows around the implant. Your body grows it to protect itself from a foreign object. So all of that has to be removed, and it has to be tested. Your breast tissues have to be cleaned out. Some women are getting lymph nodes removed because they're so clogged and full of toxins. They're finding through pathology results that silicone is leaking into the woman's body. So basically your implant is melting. It's dissolving into your body. So, and silicone, and it's interesting, I don't have silicone, but my shell, the outside shell, is made out of all of these toxic materials, which we are just finding out the ingredient list of exactly what these implants are made out of. And basically what I tell people, I have car parts in my chest because that's what they're putting in our chest. So if they had presented to me, if that surgeon said, hey, this is the ingredient list of what these implants are made of, or is it possible that you could be allergic to one of these, or is it possible that you could react to one of these? None of that was ever discussed. It was never displayed to me at the time. I'm sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, they're safe. FDA released them. Obviously, I'm going with the safest option. Needless to come to say, I've spent numerous days in bed. I've been tired. The balls of my feet hurt. I get bone aches and muscle aches and weird, quirky things that just didn't clear up when I moved from my apartment. And rashes and just it's almost like a chronic allergic reaction type thing. So I'll wake up, my eyes are swollen.
Right, like the inflammation, like they're saying that just attacks your body everywhere and all the time and in weird ways, right?
Absolutely. Inflammation is detrimental to anyone's body. If inflammation is left to go for a long period of time, it can damage major organs, which we are finding several women in the group who are suffering from kidney failure, liver failure, adrenal failure. Some women can't even be operated on because they're so sick. It's definitely life-threatening. It's killed, I believe, 250 women so far. It may be more than that. That's just some statistic that I pulled up just recently. But and the numbers are growing. Nicole's group started when I joined the group. It was about 25,000 people. Now we're at almost 50,000 women. It's on the news now, where they're doing research, they're doing specials. We're working on trying to remove them from the market. And if you think about it, they're putting these objects in women's bodies who have had breast cancer already. Does that make sense?
No.
Oh my
like,
God.
how are they getting away with a lack of an expiration date on these things with all of these cases being reported?
Well, that is the more women that report their symptoms to the FDA, the more likely they're going to have a hearing, and hopefully they will pull them off the market again. I'm trying to work with the medical field. Obviously, most of my doctors are at the University of Chicago. I'm trying to work with some of the medical board there to explain, hey, you're going to get patients like me, and you're going to have to do these tests. By the way, there are no tests, absolutely no tests to test you if you have breast implant illness. Nothing. They go by your symptoms only. And so I'm battling with the medical field because I want them to understand. So most of the women, when they go to the doctor's like, oh, you're crazy, or maybe you need Xanax, or maybe your husband's cheating, or maybe there's too much for your kids. Like, literally, doctors have said this to women who are sick. And
Hold on, maybe your husband's cheating. That's an alternative to, I think my chest is trying to kill me. But hold on.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Yo,
exactly.
No. Oh, my Lord.
It's
This
the
is
worst.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the worst thing that you can say. They don't recognize it. They don't recognize it as an illness. Why? Because it's not. They're not putting the dots together. So when I went into my doctors, I said, hey, I found this group, actually it kind of found me, and all of these symptoms that I'm experiencing are correlating with these other women. And as soon as they explant, 95 to 100% of their symptoms are gone. I would like to discuss, having my breast implants. And they look at me and they're like, you're crazy. You have saline implants, right? They don't make you sick. But they do. They grow mold inside. They're finding mold, fungus, bacteria in women's chests. There's actually pictures of breast implants that have turned colors. They have black specks floating around inside of them. My left breast is leaking, slowly. And to think that there might be mold inside my implants and it's traveling throughout my body and my bloodstream, it's scary. It's downright scary, and I feel deceived with my surgeon. I feel deceived with the whole industry in itself.
There's been very few times on this show where I've just been completely speechless, and you've just topped it.
Awesome! I like to do that.
I just, wow. I mean,
I'm not speechless. I'm angry because I feel like if this was if this was like something where men were getting extra inches on their dicks with like silicone things, right? And then the silicone was eaten at their dicks. I feel like there'd be like congressional hearings on
exactly. Exactly.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
And by the way, men do that.
Of course. Well, I mean, allegedly.
Not after hearing this podcast, they won't.
No, yeah, I mean,
no, not at all.
A reduction, maybe. Just get it,
no,
with the
explant.
How
do they know it's leaking? That's what I want to know.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question?
How do they know that the implant is leaking?
They really don't. They really don't know. Well, with saline, what happens is your implant will kind of like get smaller. My right side has always been swollen. I don't know why. It's always been bigger. I was thinking, well, maybe he filled one size bigger, which I am finding out he did. I'm also finding out the surgeon filled them way too. They filled them. He filled it beyond the max line, from what I understand from the breast implant company, because I called the breast implant company. And by the way, dealing with the breast implant companies is like dealing with Comcast. They are the worst company. They are not for the patient at all.
Westlake Financial.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Stop it!
Yeah, and I can't remember what group it was or what specific brand. They were only offering $8,000 to a woman who came down with that rare cancer. $8,000 to have her implants removed, but no treatments for her cancer. Really?
That's horrendous. You could have more luck, like getting hammered and then like falling asleep on the wrong street corner and then hoping the kidney people take out your breast implants for free when they take out your kidney. Like, what the fuck? $8,000 plus you get cancer? That's almost like I hate you. Here's $8,000 so you can go. Like, that's terrible. Because, oh Christ.
Yeah.
It's a double takedown.
Yeah,
it's been terrible. And then there is, to explain, that there is only a certain amount of surgeons who actually do it the right way. So it's very difficult to find a doctor in your area. I've seen plenty of doctors here, surgeons here in Illinois, and I don't feel comfortable. I just don't. There is one doctor in California that I absolutely love, Dr. Chun. All he does is explants. He does not put these toxic bags inside women's bodies because he knows what happens to a woman once he places them in. He's had way too many patients over 22 years that have become sick. So that's another reason why I like him. Plus, he does the videos, he does the pathology, he does all the testing that you need. I would like to be rest assured once mine are removed that I don't have mold in my breasts, and I don't. It's all cleaned out and it's done appropriately. The surgery is not cheap. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on being sick, some covered by insurance, some not covered by insurance. I've depleted my savings, all of my modeling savings, all of that stuff on medications, holistic doctors, which are not cheap, by the way, going back and forth and traveling an hour and a half to go see doctors in Chicago, like just crazy stuff. And now the campaign that I'm starting with a group of amazing people, I will not release their names until it's officially released. But now we're starting a campaign, and what I want to do is, at first, I need the money to have the surgery so I can get better. The surgeon is very confident that I can get 95 to 100% better than what I am, and oh my gosh, I don't even care the size of my breasts. I don't care what they look like. Well, maybe a little bit. But I just want my life back. I want my health back. I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good friend. I want to be back in the MMA industry again. I want to be back in the modeling. I'm doing like little here and there, but not as much as I was. And so I feel like I've lost a part of my life, and I've lost a part of me. And honestly, let me tell you, breast implants are not comfortable. They're heavy, and if you think they're not going to sag, they will sag because they're heavy and sag. And you can't lay on your stomach because it's very painful because I have mine under the muscle. And look, I am a girl that likes to lay on her stomach. I'm one of them type of chicks. And so I have not, for the last 10 years, been able to lay on my stomach comfortably. Or let's talk about working out in the gym and doing chest exercises to increase your chest muscles.
Nope.
Painful.
Yep. Yeah.
Jesus.
And not to mention, the bigger your boobs are, the more expensive your bras are. And looking at the Victoria's Secret, listen to this. Victoria's Secret makes their bras out of formaldehyde. What does formaldehyde do? It breaks down the tissues of the body when it's dead, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so when you think about it, they're putting shitty-ass chemicals, pardon my French, And so many of our creams and bras and clothing and food, I don't want to even talk about food. But yeah, it's just the whole breast implant illness thing. I really want to get the MMA community involved. I'm going to need as much help as possible. I have some key people that are going to help me market it. It's something that once I released my story on Instagram and Facebook, I'm not going to lie, I was a little scared to do it because I've been so sick for so many years. I've had so many different things happen. I was so excited when I got diagnosed with lupus. I'm like, I thought I figured out what's wrong with me. Well, no, that wasn't quite the end result of what's wrong with me. And so each diagnosis, you get excited, and you're like, oh, that's it. Okay, good. We can treat that. No, we can't, because that's not the underlying root issue. So it's been a long haul. It's been a journey. It's been a lot of frustration. It's been a lot. I have cried myself to sleep. I have painfully got up and did modeling shoots. I have worked cash paying jobs. Whatever I possibly could do to save my life. Basically, my breast implants are killing me. They're legitimately shutting down the things in my body because of the silicone and the toxicity levels. It's pretty bad. Women are taking their hair and sitting it off and being tested. The metals in their body are way superseding the normal amount that you're typically supposed to have. You're not supposed to have platinum, high levels of platinum and high levels of silica and high levels of arsenic and those type of things. That's not supposed to be in your body.
No, they put poison in there. They put poison in your body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I really would love to have my implants out. I cannot wait to have natural boobs. And if anybody who is 22, 23, young women, cage girl women that want to go get their breasts done, let me tell you, don't do it. It is the biggest mistake that I have ever done in my life. And I should have never listened to modeling agencies that said my breasts were unproportional. Really? Well, you know what? You look at models today, now you have full-figure models. You have models that are in the 300 pounds. You have all kinds of models now. And if I had just waited, I probably could have busted open myself too. But it's just, you take your chances, you trust what they tell you, and you kind of go with it and you hope for the best. I was certainly not expecting this. I was not expecting to learn that my breast implants may have mold in them. I was not expecting that I could possibly develop a rare cancer, which I don't know. I won't know until I get tested. But the longer they stay in my body, the worse I get and the closer to death I become. And it is that serious. It is that critical. If anybody cares about me, if you really care about me and you really want to help, because over the years people are like, how can I help? How can I help? I really want to help. But then when you need help and you ask them for help, they disappear. So this isn't about me necessarily, and I didn't want to make this about me, but I have a 15-year-old daughter. I need to be her mother, and I need to be here to take care of her. If I'm not here, who's going to take care of her?
Jesus, yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to utilize this campaign where I can raise awareness. I can also raise the funds to help another woman explant. Let me go over some of the expenses of what it costs for an explant. So the removal itself is about $8,000 to $9,000, depending on what doctor you go to. Now, there are some doctors that are charging $18,000 for removal and breast reconstruction. So that is obviously an exuberant amount of money for a single mom or a low-income mom or even a two-income family to afford. That's like taking out another house loan on your house and taking it out and trying to afford paying for the surgery. So my issue is I've depleted all my savings. I've got zero left. And I'm not ashamed to say it because I spent a lot of money on trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my body. I mean, I went from 117 pounds to all of this inflammation, gaining weight, not to mention gaining weight, ladies. Let me repeat that. Gaining weight that you cannot lose because inflammation, you cannot lose it until you alleviate the problem in your body. So they think that having breast implants is going to be this glamorous thing and attention and I'll get jobs and this. And, you know, honestly, the women that have explanted, obviously you guys can't get in the group because you have to be female and have female parts.
Well, of course.
But
I
know. The women that post their before and after pictures, even their face, before they go in, their face is swollen, wrinkly, all looking, you look like you're freaking 90, okay? And then after you, not even moments after you explant, these women are taking pictures. Their bloodshot eyes are gone. The redness in their face is gone. The swelling is gone. Women have reported losing 20 pounds of inflammation immediately. The breast before, obviously you can tell who has a breast implant and who doesn't. They're super, super round. They're just round breasts, round big bubbles of bags in your chest, as opposed to someone who's natural. When the women are explanting and you look at their after picture, I'm going to tell you, their breasts look better than they did when they had implants. I was like,
wild.
Oh my God,
wow,
natural boobies. What a concept.
wow.
It's a huge difference. It's a night and day difference. The skin texture is different. Their skin tone returns. Their bags underneath their eyes return. Insomnia goes away. I think over the last 24 hours, I've listed like the ingredients of the breast implant. I have posted about the symptoms, the illnesses that you can be diagnosed. Can you believe that women are being diagnosed with Lyme disease but have never been bitten by a tick? How is that possible?
That's because it's poison. Because you guys they're putting stuff in you to sell you something and to sell a procedure, and then saying to the devil with the safety.
Exactly. And I'm going to address the men. Men who gawk at boobs, I get it. Your testosterone levels are high. That's what you're meant for. Sex appeal and all of those things. We live in such a plastic, fake world that we need to get away from the fake and start saving people's lives. And what I mean by that is the guys have a lot of say in this. So if you meet a girl and you're like, oh my God, she's amazing, she's got these curves, nice breasts. Oh, but they're fake. Oh, wait, I think I heard something on a podcast about those could make the girl that I potentially like or could be with, could make her sick. And women or men that are telling their wives, hey, your boobs, I'm just not attracted. Like, ugh. Let's go talk about breast implants. Like, shame on you. You should not even be suggesting that to your wife or your girlfriend. Appreciate what she has, because I'll tell you what, if you're strong enough to be with her while she has breast implants, or you're strong enough to be with her while she's sick in bed and can't, perform, can't have sex with you, can't, do daily functions, can't take care of your kids, is that something you can deal with over a period of time? These are things that guys need to think about.
I agree. No. In terms of those weird beauty standards that they kind of impose that sort of one size fits all. We gotta all conform to that sort of look. It's guys do have a disproportionate hand in that, and you're seeing the consequences. It's wild. But I wanted to say real quick, I believe we have one of your friends on the line that called in, Rachel.
Who'd that be?
I think it's Aggie. Let me get her on. Hold on 1 second. Hey, caller, you're on.
You're seeing the consequences. It's wild.
Hello?
I wanted to stay real quick.
Hello,
hey,
Rachel? Hey, Aggie, how are you?
I'm listening to your radio station.
Yay, well, it's not mine. I'm just listening to the story.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. I know how she feels. I've seen her sick before.
Let me explain to you about Aggie. So Aggie came into my life at a point when I was at my sickest. And Aggie has taken care of me, has comforted me, has come bring me food, has taken me out to lift my spirits. She's helped me clean my house. She's been a godsend to me. And there are very few people that I can count on that I can say they were reliable and they were there for me. This is one honorable friend that I have had who has stayed with me, stuck with me, taken me to doctor's appointments, traveled with me to doctor's appointments, watched me cry from my appointments. I mean, this woman is amazing. So I wanted to give her a little shout out there that I appreciate you and I love you very much.
And I love you too.
And hopefully we're going to get
somebody like that.
It really is, because you know what? I've learned since becoming sick that not everybody really was genuinely in your corner. And I've lost a lot of friends because I've been sick. But those are friends that really weren't my friends. And those were friends that were along for a ride. They weren't really there for the journey. They were there for a short ride. And, I mean, thank God. You just clearly told me who you are. And, hey, God bless you. I wish you well on your journey. But I'm glad you did not waste my time. So, but that, you know, I'm trying to be positive. I sound good on the phone. I may look good in my pictures, but internally my body is fighting a war that I have no control over. I can legitimately have a conversation with you on the couch, have a conversation, and I would fall asleep on you. I have no control over how fatigued my body is going to be. Most of the time, I do my activities, my daily activities. I have to push myself through workouts, even though I'm not losing weight. I was like, I'm determined. I'm gonna lose weight. Well, I'm not, and I can't frustrate myself. I have to understand my body is inflamed, and it's protecting itself with the fat cells. It's just toxins are nasty. It's a nasty thing to deal with. But I have to push myself on days. And some days I overextend myself and I forget that I'm sick. Like Monday on Memorial Day, I spent the entire day outside in the sun by the lake, which was the biggest mistake. I love being outdoors, but I'm not really sun sensitive anymore, but I'm heat intolerant, and you heat up my chest and the body, and obviously if you put plastic under heat, what does it do? It starts to melt, disintegrate, toxins start to come out. Yeah, so I don't tolerate the heat very well, and so I've been pretty much running my activities, and then I'm in bed pretty much all week. And that is not how I spend, that is not how I spend my life. I am a go, 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 go. I got to do this. I have my Blaze Kids program. I have my nonprofit. Oh, my gosh, I have to do this show. I have to do that show. I have to work out. I have to meet this person. I can't do those things like I used to anymore. Now I have to be like, okay, what does my body feel today? Am I going to overexert myself? But wait, I've got to go and do this. They're depending on me to be there. I can't cancel. But my body says, yes, you have to cancel because I'm tired. And I can't because I feel like I'm obligated. And then I also feel like since I've been down, since I've been sick, that I've let so many people down because I can't be there. I can't do the things you want me to do. I can't go out to the nightclub. I can't go party at the UFC after party. I can't do these things like I used to. And that hurts me because if you ask me to do something, I'm there. I'm there to help you. But I can't. I have to take care of myself. And it's like, I'm not one of those selfish type of people. So when I did this campaign, I was like, I really don't want to make this all about me because there's so many other women that are suffering. But in the same token, a very good friend of mine who is pretty well known in the MMA community said, Rachel, right now we have got to raise the money to take care of you first, and then you can take care of everybody else.
Yeah, this is kind of a situation where you should be selfish.
Yeah,
You know?
I just don't like that feeling like, oh my gosh, there's somebody else. But let me tell you about the program. So I've teamed up with a very well-known T-shirt company here locally in Chicago. I support them 1,000%. They have a beautiful campaign program, and he mentioned it, and he said, hey, I've been following you for a while, and I know your story. Let's see if we can make something happen. My surgery is not cheap. Mine is going to deal with, obviously, removal and breast reconstruction, and obviously the pathology testing, which is not cheap. It's, it could be anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 depending on what you're testing for. And I want a thorough testing because then I can live my life comfortably at that point, knowing that I got all this crap out of my body. And so now we're talking about the expense of the surgery. I can't afford it. I'm going to be real honest. I don't have the money for it. Even if I took out a loan to do it, I still wouldn't be able to afford to keep up with a monthly payment. You know what I mean? Because I've put myself in so much strain from being sick. So there's a T-shirt that's being developed, and at first it was going to be a Rachel Blaze shirt to raise the funds for Rachel's surgery, but I felt like I would be doing more, not only just raising money for my surgery, but also spreading awareness. And I want a T-shirt that both men and women would wear, and something that's catchy, something that's to the point, and maybe help save other people's lives at the same time they're saving mine. This T-shirt, I have to do a minimum of 50 shirts. I have to sell a minimum of 50 shirts. I have to do all the marketing. So I have hit all of my resources and networking over the last week. My wheels have been turning like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So I'm very animated, by the way. So I have been contacting all of my contacts. I'm like, duh, Rachel, you know a lot of people. Why are you not on the phone? Why are we not talking about this? So I'm like, I don't know. Well, let's do it. So I've been making a lot of headway this week. Obviously, being on your podcast is one of them, and making the connections I did. So this T-shirt is going to be released. They're designing it at this particular moment. I don't know what the price point of the T-shirt is going to be. I know that once it's released, we're going to do a huge campaign with it, and it's just going to be flooded, like flood. We're going to try to get this thing trending and maybe get some people to pay attention. Oh, my God, breast implant awareness, like breast implant illness. Oh, my gosh, what are the symptoms? Like, oh, my gosh, that might be me. I have breast implants. So I have to sell a maximum 3,000 shirts in order to provide the surgery, the pathology, the healing, the medications afterward. The healing is something fierce. It's a complete diet change. It's supplements. It's going to a holistic doctor. It's doing IV treatments because you're trying to detox and flush all of that silicone and toxins out of your body so that at that point you can start returning to a normal state of living, a quality of life. And so it's very intensive. Not to mention I have to fly out to California. I've got to stay out in California. They're going to put drains in my breasts, which I'm going to fight tooth and nail because I don't want drains. I feel like it's an open invitation for infection. But the drains are to drain the breast tissue.
There, right? Yeah. Potentially, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't like it. I would prefer not to have them, but it's something that some surgeons do and some surgeons don't. I believe Dr. Chun does, but I might be fighting him like, hey, I'm paying for this. I really don't want those in my body, but if you really need to put them in there, all right, I trust your judgment. But I'm going to have to stay in California. I'm going to have to stay in a hotel. I'm going to have to go back and forth and see Dr. Chun and then be finally released to go back home to Chicago, and then the healing is anywhere. It depends. It could be, for some women, it could be 2 weeks. It could be 2 to 4 weeks. It could be 6 weeks. It could be a couple months. You just don't know how your body's going to react after you have surgery. So I'm very excited. I'm very pumped. I developed a nonprofit some years ago, Unity Fighters First Foundation, and it was developed for kids and athletes and fighters and things like that. But now that nonprofit has like a meaning behind it, because now we're fighting for people's lives. We're fighting to save women. We're fighting to save your mom, your aunt, your sister, your girlfriend, your wife, baby mama, I don't care, whoever. And it's awful to watch your friend or your wife or your daughter or anybody female in your family disintegrate before your eyes. You go from being super healthy to you're laying in bed for days and you don't know why. And so the more that we can spread awareness, the more podcasts I can get on, the more things I can do to get it out there. If I have to become Rachel Blaze, the poster child of my boobies, I have no problem with doing that if I know I'm going to save 12 women's lives.
So I think the T-shirt is a great idea because not only are people just donating, they're getting something in return, and you know it's basically advertising for it all. Did you think about crowdfunding at all?
I have not thought about that. People have said, "Hey, let's start a GoFundMe." We did that. It wasn't a huge success, but I'll tell you what little we did raise helped me out a lot, believe it or not. I feel that in today's world, things like GoFundMe and different other outlets are successful for some, and others it is not. And sometimes people are very leery about donating because they don't know where their money is going. Well, hey, this is not only going for Rachel's surgery, but this is going to raise awareness. And I'm getting a T-shirt from a very well-known maker, which I can't say right now, and you're supporting so many other, this T-shirt brand, I can't really go into full detail, but you're supporting another good cause. And once it's revealed, you'll completely understand what the other cause is. But right now, the main focus is to raise as much awareness about breast implants. And I have had 23-year-old women, once I released my story, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna, I was just thinking about getting breast implants. I saw your story. I saved up my money, and I'll go through their Instagram. I'm like, what do you need boobies for? You have boobies. You haven't even had children. You have that nursing kids. What is going on?" And
just the way you said it, it's like, yo, what's going on? Oh boy.
I'm like, come on, ladies, young ladies, you don't need big round heavy bags in your chest to be sexy, to be beautiful. Honestly, natural is better. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be real honest with you. They suck. I hate having big breasts. I do. And when I started, they were at a normal size, but because of all the inflammation and the weight gain, unfortunately, I cannot control the size that they are at this particular moment. They're just huge, and I don't like them. But
they've gotten out of hand. It's become, like an albatross almost. It's become something that you have to bear instead of helping your life out, or adding to your life. It's terrible.
Exactly. I mean, what are boobs going to do? I mean, fake boobs. Let's just put it this way. What are fake boobs going to do for you? It's going to be, they're going to focus on your chest and not your face when you have a conversation. They're going to be like, that is the first thing they see when you walk in the door.
and you're going to attract attention. You're going to get pictures in your Instagram and your Twitter and your Facebook. So be surprised. You'll get those. And just crazy comments. I remember the article, and I wanted to kill that son of a bitch, where he said, Busty Blaze. I will never forget the day that he wrote that article, and I think we all know who we are talking about. Never say that about a woman's breast, ever. So that is and if you guys want to do research, or if there is a woman who's listening and has breast implants and wants to know more, even if you don't have any symptoms, I promise you, some of the things that you might think is a flu symptom is probably from your breast implants, and eventually it'll get worse, and eventually you'll have symptoms. I'm not saying that all women get sick from breast implants. That is definitely not what I'm saying. I am definitely saying that you need to educate yourself, A, before you put them in your chest. B, you need to be able to love your body first and know why you want them. Because if you don't love yourself first, your big breasts aren't going to make a huge difference. And I didn't do it because I wasn't confident in myself. I did it because I wanted to get into an industry, because I wanted a career in something. So it wasn't like, oh, I really don't like how my body is. I worked hard for my body. To get 117 pounds and 10% body fat after, having a kid. Hello? I worked hard for that body. I'm proud of that. So, but women need to love and appreciate their bodies as they are. I don't care if you're flat as a pancake. I don't care if you got saggy boobs, you got perky boobs, you got round boobs, you got teardrop boobs. I don't care if they're black, they're yellow. I don't care what color your breasts are. Love them, because that's what God gave you.
I just want to say your story has been awesome to hear, and a close friend of mine, Sarah, who's been listening to the show, was at some point considering getting hers done, and after how informative you've been, has completely turned around away from it. So thank you for everything you've been sharing. Yeah, she was dead serious. Like, at whatever point it would have been, whether it's tomorrow or years from now, just hearing what you're going through and all of these other women have to deal with behind how shady doctors are being, the lack of information being given when women go in to get these done for whatever reason they get them done, you are definitely having a positive effect, and that is one person you have, just from this one podcast so far, at least tonight, have been able to turn away from doing something that could have made her horribly sick for a decent portion of her life.
Team Natural, baby girl. Team Natural. Enjoy your breath. Your natural breath. Team Natural breath.
That's just one person that you heard from tonight. Just think about this story completely getting out onto all these other podcasts, the positive effect that it's going to have.
I'm actually thankful for my good friend who we've worked on the campaign for the last week together for suggesting. He said, Rachel, you need to be on 2 podcasts a week. You need to be talking about this. We need to get you on Access TV. We need to get you on the MMA show. We need to get you everywhere talking about this. And I'm like, well, I'm not quite sure if I was going to go all that far, but all right, we'll just go with it.
Yeah, no Ariel Helwani. No Ariel Helwani. No. Go different.
Yeah, exactly. Right. No. So I'm actually looking forward to look. These are the things I'm looking forward to after I have my surgery. Let me explain, because I'm super excited. I can go without wearing a bra. Thank God, because underwires suck. And I can let the tatas be free. I can not wear formaldehyde bras. My bras are going to be cheaper because I don't need the big size. And I can get the cute bras with all the sparklies and all the rainbows and all the cool stuff on it. I'm so excited.
I think you'd be more excited about not being laid up in bed for 3 days.
That is number one, but I just wanted to bring some funny points. that's one thing that you'll learn about me is that I tend to, when a situation is tough, I tend to bring some comedy into it. So, but no, I am definitely looking.
That's the best thing, because honestly, if you didn't, you would probably just be depressed. Look, I didn't go through with what you went through, but I was in a horrific accident. I was in a wheelchair for a while. I couldn't walk for a while. If it wasn't for the fact of me making jokes about it, I would have been more depressed in front of people than I was behind closed doors. So you're 100% right. You know, laughter is the best medicine at some points. It really is.
Yes.
It keeps your spirits up.
Real quick, jump in and say, whenever there is a link where to get the shirt, whatever, Sarah's 100% on board.
I will definitely, once it's released, I will release it to everyone. I'm a marketing queen. So I will definitely release it to all my podcast people and all my MMA people. It'll be on Top Rated MMA. It'll be on their website. I believe a couple other MMA sites. And it'll be a direct link to where they can purchase the shirt. If you want to donate, you can donate to my PayPal. I know that sounds crazy. I'm just going to put it out there. It's Rachel Blaze at RachelBlaze.com. So it's RachelBlaze at RachelBlaze.com. So it's the same spelling. Make sure you spell it RACHEAL. And then if you obviously if you donate, I am not one of those people like, I'm not going to send you something. I'm going to send you something. I can't tell you what it is because it's going to be a surprise. But I'm actually really, really excited that you guys had me on the show and that you were gracious enough to talk about boobies. And I'm so glad that your friend is not going to get the surgery. It's a waste of money. And obviously, there are other safer options. Let me tell you, you can do a fat transfer. So if you've got fatty thighs or a fatty booty, which I wouldn't get rid of because booties are in, there's, they could take fat from anywhere in your body and stuff them into your boobies and make them bigger if that's what you're desiring to do. There are safer options out there, but do not put a foreign plastic, car part, toxic material in your breasts. Don't do it.
It's definitely not worth it.
I am living proof. No, hundreds of thousands of dollars on doctors. I am not freaking lying. An MRI. I can't tell you how many times I've had an MRI test. I can't tell you how many times I've had a CAT scan. I can't tell you how many times I've had my blood drawn. I've had bottles of my blood drawn because they thought I had an infection in my blood. I've had parts of my body. I've had surgery. I've had sinus surgery because I have inflammation, swelling. I had a staph infection in my sinus, which I've never had a staph in my entire life. And as many gyms as I visited, I've never got a staph infection. My hair has thinned. I've got rashes. I've gotten funky things growing that I've never seen before, or discoloration of my skin, redness in your breasts, redness in your eyes. It looks like you smoked a whole big bag of weed. You didn't. That was most patients would love to, but no, they did not. Your face gets dry and cracky and wrinkly. Your skin gets dry and crackly and wrinkly. You want to look good in breast implants? Well, let me tell you, in 5 years, you're going to look like you're 100 years old. I am totally not kidding. But the minute you take these out of your chest, your body starts to calm down and it starts to heal. And you start to find yourself again, and you learn to love your new boobies, and you learn to spread the word about your journey. And I tell you what, this has done so much for me to be able to share it and to be able to talk about it and to finally get to the root of all of my illnesses, to finally connect all the dots is like, oh my God, thank God. I don't have to continue to go through this because now you have a solution to the problem. Now you're not going to be on 23 different medications. You're not going to be on high doses of prednisone. You're not going to be on a cancer treatment drug They put me on chemo. I'm like, why do I have to go on chemo? Oh, because you have a rash. You're overreacting. Your skin. Really? I have to go on chemo because I have a rash? Well, let me tell you, ladies, that is no joke. Even a low grade of chemo, it's still toxins you're putting it into your body. So those are the things that I had to go through while having breast implants. It is not fun. It is not cool. I've had an ultrasound. I've had mammograms. They were very painful. I cried. I almost passed out. I am not freaking kidding you. And the lady who did the ultrasound on my breast found over 10 lumps in each breast. Over 10. And when I had a mammogram before, I was normal. There was nothing wrong, because I mean I had it done even before I had implants, just because of a safety measure. But they could not explain the lumps, and they're extremely painful. They are hard. It scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I have cancer or not, and it's a scary thought to walk around knowing that it's a possibility, or that it's a possibility that you have a foreign matter growing inside your chest. And if you think about it, the breast implants, when they put them under the muscle, what organs are they closest to? They're closest to your heart. They're closest to your lungs. Those are vital organs to keep you alive. And you're putting these toxic bags close to your organs that keep you alive. Imagine the silicone breasts or the saline breasts completely dissolved. They find that they're melting to the rib cage of a woman, and they have to scrape the rib cage to get all of the material out of your breast. It is very painful, and it's very intensive. I'm not looking forward to it, but I know that the end result is a healthier life. This is serious stuff, and this is stuff that you just don't want to play around with. All because you want bigger breasts and you want to look beautiful. You're already beautiful. Fuck the madness. Fuck the madness. Don't put fake stuff in your boobies.
Well, first of all, fuck the modeling agencies.
Exactly.
That's first and foremost. That is first and foremost. And, you know, it makes me sick that there are these rich parents that will get their, you know, younger teenage daughters breast implants because they want them.
Yes.
Yeah. God, I'm so glad I grew up.
You definitely touched on a subject. You definitely touched on, you hit the nail right there, because I just read an article where this woman, her child is not even 10, and she already has a breast implant fund for her when she turns 18. Get the F out of here. What is wrong with you?
See, that's just, no. No. I want my daughter to dress like a fucking pilgrim when she gets older. That's how I want her to dress, like a fucking pilgrim.
Amen.
Yeah, we all would like that, right?
Amen for the pilgrim.
Yeah, I want her to dress like my great grandmother dressed.
The Handmaid's Tale. I want it to be in my house, but not with the weird stuff, but just with the clothes, right? Like just you know, head to toe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll forewarn you on that. Yep. I gotta tell you a funny. I gotta tell you guys a funny story. Okay, I almost fell out of my damn. I wasn't even in a cart. I wasn't even sitting down. I almost fell over. Okay, so there's these parents. They walk in and they have their two girls. They couldn't have been any more than like 12 years old. Well, one was pretty well developed, and they allowed their daughter to come in with these really short shorts, and you can see the cheeks of her bottom of her butt hanging out of her shorts. And I'm like, what? I'm just looking like, why would you do that? Why would you condone that? Why is that okay? That's not okay. It's not okay. And it bothers me that we are putting so much sexuality emphasis on our young people. Our young girls, what are we doing? I almost fell over.
It gets younger and younger. It gets younger and younger every year, though, it seems like. Like, you know, I have two nieces.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and it's like back that, you know, they're 14 and 16 now, and it's like that's well beyond the age of when that sort of process has already started with them, right? Like, isn't it? It's wild. It seems like like you said, the 10-year-old are having a breast fund, or girls, little, like young girls walk around with butt shorts on. It's like, listen, I'm never ever on the advocacy of the girls had it coming if they're wearing that stuff. But then at the other end of the other side, of course, at the at the end of the day, the male head agency, he could have not done that. Let's just put that one to bed. But on the other end of the spectrum, it's like, what are we teaching the girls? Like, what are we teaching the young women? Where it's like, yeah, let's value this instead of having a life, having a mind, having a personality, having your own agency. Like, get out of here. It's terrible.
There's so much emphasis on being perfect. No one's going to ever be perfect. All those beautiful photos are all photoshopped. All women have dimples. All women have cellulite. All women have flaws. It's time to embrace all of the flaws that women have, and start turning this fake plasticky, it's just so rampant right now. I mean, now you've got men.
Well, look at the celebrities, like Goldie
terrible.
Hawn. Goldie Hawn.
Oh, Lord.
It looks like someone hit her in the face with a frying pan. She was
Melanie Griffith.
Totally not even recognizable.
Yeah,
totally
Melanie
not
Griffith,
even recognizable.
Right? Yeah,
her daughter is
unbelievable.
Like, it's just it's weird.
It's almost like they're turning alien. Almost like, dude, you're gonna age. Let it go.
That's it,
I
right?
have a wrinkle on my face. I'm okay with it because I'm like, hello. I have a lot of wisdom right now. Let me tell you. But I mean, come on. It's just embrace the process. Embrace the journey. And through this process, I have seen so many changes in my body, and some that I would absolutely, I hate it. I hate looking in the mirror. It's like, oh my God, where did my little 117-pound body go? And you've got to stop that. Like, don't look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, I'm fat. I gained 5 pounds. So what? Embrace those curves. Curves are in.
Yeah. I'm happy when I look in the mirror and see my B cup boobs and my dad bod. I can't I can't get mad at that. I used to be in shape, now I'm a shape, and I'm happy about it.
Man, it works for me.
Well,
don't change.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Rachel.
Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Steve warned me about you guys. He's like, what do you say?
He said B-cup boobs. Like, that son of a bitch.
B-cup boobs? No, how about, like, quadruple Z boobs?
Oh, boy.
Well, like Big Ange from Mob Wives. I think like she had like an F or something like that. It was something just out of this world.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Only if these women could understand that is just not cute anymore. It's not. I don't like the lip plumping and the Botox and if you think about it, those are toxins that were never meant to be in your body, and you're doing that to yourself. It's like there are other things. Like I've switched my face regimen to like minerals and organic. I had to. I can't use a lot of chemicals because I'm so sensitive to things. But I've changed up my regimen. I've changed up my eating habits. There are things that you can do to ease the aging process. But at this point, going through what I've been through and gone through plastic surgery, I honestly would never do it again. I don't care what the hell it is. The ill effects of it afterward. And granted, there are some great things that happen. Like if you have a cleft lip, I get it. If you have some like scar on your face or something that's debilitating, obviously, yeah, I totally get it. But if you're the woman that's getting 3,000, procedures a month, that is a little over excessive. That means that internally you're not dealing with what's going on internally. So no matter what's going on the outside, no matter what you do to it, it's not going to change unless you change your thought process. And it's like there's so many beautiful women out there, and they just constantly got to do these fancy things, and now they're doing these vampire where they're taking like the placentas of unborn, of children when their babies are born. They take the placenta and they rub it on their face, and like they do these weird things, and it's like,
That is disgusting.
That's what they do. That's what they do, and it's like, ew, I can't do it.
I'm sure the people that are doing that don't have children and have never seen what the placenta looks like. I've seen it twice. I couldn't think about rubbing it on my face and, oh, look, I look 10 years younger now. No, thank you.
Do you know that in other countries, I just learned this the other day, that
they
people eat the placenta.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I knew you were
going
to. No, they do it here, too. They've been putting it in, like, capsule form.
Cannibals do that, and you take the power of the baby when you eat the placenta.
According to the witch doctor that probably invented this, they say that if they put it in capsule form, it eases the whatchamacallit, postpartum depression symptoms. My wife didn't do that, and she has severe anxiety, and she was fine.
If I saw my wife doing that, I'd get depressed. If I saw her encapsulate in the placenta and being like, yo, this is helping me, I'm like, you know what? We need to go to church. We need to see an old priest and a young priest. You're eating on a human, like a human being sack. This is a road that ends with demonic possession. Stop. We need to have a conversation with a higher authority.
Well, yeah.
Oh Christ.
That's nasty. That's just so nasty.
It's ridiculous.
I really hope that we can get more men involved, and the more men that advocate for team natural or doing natural things for your body, it will help change the status quo. It will help women feel better about themselves, because I don't know why. And really, technically, I don't think they do it just for the guy. I think they do it because they're in competition with other women. Like, stop it. There is no competition.
But you hit the nail on the head there. That's where you hit the nail on the head.
Right. We should be supporting each other and loving each other as we are. Who cares what the hell we look like? I mean, God, I can tell you right now, I look scary. I'm not going to lie. I look awful right now, but I'm sick. I got hair every which way, and I got no makeup on. I have dark circles under my eyes because I can't sleep. I have insomnia right now. I've never had that before in my life, and I'm like, I want to sleep. I can't sleep. So, but I just, gosh, guys, can you get your guys involved and, like, seriously do the research? And this is not just for women. This is for men, too. Men should really educate themselves about breast implant illness, because I guarantee you're going to date somebody who has them, you're going to marry somebody who has them, or you're going to encounter somebody who has them. And you're going to be able to say, oh, my gosh, I think I know why you're sick. I was reading this article about breast implant illness, and, you might want to take a look at this article or check out this Facebook group, or, I mean, it also helps if the men can get involved. You have no idea what it means to have a man to go in and do research and look at the potential of what a breast implant can do to a woman's body. And I bet you there will be more men out there that will be like, oh, no, I'm going to steer away from the fake boobs because I don't want you to die. I don't want you sick. I love you too much, or I admire you too much, or you're my best friend. You know what I mean? I would love for more men to be more involved with this.
Well, I can tell you one thing. There's going to be a bunch of guys who are listening to this podcast who are never going to look at porn the same.
I promise you, I kid you not, I was just crossing names off in my head right now.
Crossing names. Okay.
Oh, God.
Well, listen, Rachel, we want to thank you so much for coming on here and telling your story. It's great that this podcast has broken the fourth wall in this episode and had our, like, Barbara Walters moment, because it's been nothing but just testosterone and adrenaline every single week, no matter what guests we had on here. This was such a great podcast. It's going to be a great cause. I can't wait for you to be able to start sharing the website for the T-shirts. We're going to be blasting it everywhere. I'm going to try and get the fighters that I know involved to blast it everywhere, because it's for a great cause, not just for you, but for all the other women that are going through this. And hopefully it's something that the FDA can actually do right with, and maybe, just maybe, do these surgeries kind of pro bono, considering the fact that you're going to have people die because of these shitty things that you're putting inside people's bodies, and you're accepting it. So just once again, Rachel, thank you so much. And, I mean, best of luck with everything. Please keep us informed as to what's going on with you as well as what's going on with your organization.
Thank you. I love you guys for having me on the show. You're the first ones to break it open. How you feel about that?
We'll feel
pretty
honored.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for thinking of us, and this is a cause we're definitely going to be supporting. So please, just reach out. We'll get the word out, and we'll continue to get the word out so we can right this wrong.
Yes.
That would be awesome. I really appreciate you guys. I'm definitely going to need help with this campaign. In order for me to help other women, I have to be better myself. I have to be able to be strong enough to fight and do all the marketing and things I can do to raise money to help other women explant. It's unbelievable how many women are suffering on a daily basis that cannot afford the surgery. They just cannot. It's a decision between putting food on the table for their kids or saving their life. And me personally, as a mother, my kids are going to come first over my life. But if I'm not here to take care of my kids, then obviously who's going to take care of them, and who's going to do a better job than me? Nobody's going to do anything better than you. You're the parent. So think about those things. And I really appreciate being on the show. I hope I was informative. Please visit, I believe it's Healing Breast Implant Illness by Nicole Dorada. Only females can join the group on Facebook. Unfortunately, sorry guys, they show tatas, and women don't want to show their tatas to everybody.
Understandable, of course.
It's all female-based group. It's a safe group. It's very informative. Also, Nicole has a website, Healing Breast Implants by Nicole. You have to expand illness, and a whole spew of things will come up on Google. You'll get the articles. You can see doctors' things. You can actually see the surgery, which is I don't recommend. Actually, if you're thinking about getting the breast implants, check out the surgery, because then you'll change your mind. You'll never be able to change the scars on your breasts. Those will stay with you forever. But yes, educate, and share and spread the word, because it will affect so many lives.
Man, well, again, Rachel, thank you for being strong enough to come on here and tell your story. And like I said, please keep us up to date with everything that's going on with the organization and your health.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Hugs and kisses. Talk to you guys soon.
Take care, Rachel.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Wow, guys. Yeah. Yeah, that was what that woman is going through, and she could still come on here and be as upbeat as she was. We got to do everything that we possibly can to help her. When all this information comes through, we will be blasting it all over social media. Like I said, some of the guests that have been on the show, I'm definitely going to talk to them about this so they can help out too. We need to do this not just to help Rachel, but to help all these women, right, guys?
Exactly. This bullshit.
Yeah. Holy shit. Wow. Well, guys, look, this was a great show. It wasn't our normal kind of show, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice because everybody got to see our real side, the side that we actually do give a shit about people, and it's not just all jokes. You got to hear some real life shit here tonight. So I don't know if we have a guest lined up for next week. I'll be working on that this week, but guys, another great and amazing show. And we will talk to you all next week. Shout-outs to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Warning Sports 360, and the entire family over at Fightbook MMA. I am the Reverend Tommy D, joined with me by El Profesor Omar Sangarima and Kareem the Dream. We are Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.